And we are live. Hello everybody. How are we doing today? Happy Sunday. I had to actually check what day it was then. That's how my week has been going. Let's be honest, that's how maternity leave is going. I don't know what day I'm on, what week I'm on, anything at the moment. I just go by dates rather than days. But I confirmed it is in fact a Sunday. But regardless, how is everybody? So, to catch up on where we left off last stream, because we had a couple of days off because we've had some family around, which has been lovely, but we are now due to continue with our lovely Azreal here. And we are now officially on to the highlighting stage for Azreal, for his main body anyway. We then have got all of his back pieces to do, as well as his watcher and a tiny piece for the ground. So those are going to be started today, because I don't think Harling's going to take me the entire 2 hours, but we will have to wait and see. I seem to set sometimes quite ambitious goals for how far I'm going to get, and then sometimes it just doesn't happen. So we will have to wait and see on that regard. Hello, Signed, how are you? But I'll continue where we left off with the red last time and going with some Wazadaka red, because I didn't finish that last time, so I'm going to go in with that first. How has your weekend been? How was the hobby fair? Was it good? Did you have a good time? My work surface is officially the cleanest it's been in a very long time, because my work surface is also the kitchen table, and we've cleared everything off today to actually have dinner at the table, so now it's very, very clean. I almost don't do it myself. I'm okay. How was the family visit? It was good. Yes, it was really busy. The wee one did okay at times, didn't do so well at others, because he's never been around that many people. So at times where he took it in his stride, other times he was like, okay, I've had enough now. And he screamed the house down sometimes, and days like today he was peaceful and silent and perfect. He was perfect angel baby today. He's upstairs with Mr. Nerd now. I can hear him kind of making noises. He's not crying, but he's just making noises. But hopefully he behaves himself and continues his good behaviour, because I can see he's been very good today. It was good, got some nice things. Lovely. Sounds like a successful trip then. Any particular areas of focus for the hobby, or was it just lots of random assortments for you today? You might not be able to hear it, but you also might. There is a lot of slamming going on next door, so I apologise if you can hear it. Random stuff, stickers with seals. Ooh. Yeah, we went to something called like a firelight festival yesterday. It was just supposed to be like, because we didn't see any of the, we watched like a singing performance, but there was apparently like acrobats and aerial stuff and all that stuff going on, and obviously lots of fire because it's a fire festival. So there's lots of stuff going on yesterday. It was in the rain though, so we did get wet. But that was good. It was the latest the wee one has been out of the house, more or less since he's been born. So getting him to sleep was a challenge because his whole body clock was just completely off. You can see that highlight on the wings on his helmet. It's actually really, really cool. Yeah, I really like how that highlight looks on the wings. I was wondering if I got an even brighter red. I need some Evil Sun Scarlet, 100%. Wild Rider Red, that's what I'm going to want. Which is more of an orangey red, but it will work really, really well. It's a recommended highlight shade for this colour, for this anyway. So I'll be using some of that. Because on the Methystone red, I don't want to go in with Wazadaka. I want to go in with something that's a little bit more orangey toned. So I'm going to go in with that now. Tomorrow could be I am going to stream tomorrow night, but it could be an interrupted stream or be cut short, just warning, because the wee man has his injections tomorrow, his first vaccinations. And there's a chance that as a result of that he could be quite unsettled for Mr. Nerd. I'm not saying he can't handle it, but just in case it does get too much, if it does, then for whatever reason, that'll be the only reason why I didn't stream early tomorrow. Because he has his first bout of vaccinations tomorrow. But I'll be streaming still. Because he could also just sleep all the way through. Jane Shrimpton. Long live the 4th Legion and glory to the 4th Legion. And Iron Warriors Legion will destroy the Imperium Terror with the Blackstone Fortress and burn your false emperor of mankind. OGP vaccines. Yes, indeed. Hi, James. How are you doing? Evening. Hello, Gray. How are you? We're just talking, the wee man is getting his vaccinations tomorrow. Oh no, Iron Warrior spotted, indeed. Yeah, I caught that Hope as well. I hope so too. Like, he could be completely fine and not even react. But if for whatever reason he is too unsettled before I'm due to stream, then obviously I'll let you guys know. But hopefully he should be okay. And just sleep through it. They're usually great and it's over before they know what happened exactly. That's kind of my hope, is that tomorrow he'll kind of get the vaccine and to be like, what happened? But yeah, that is the plan, is to kind of just take him in, because I officially get like my clearance tomorrow officially as well, like as long as everything's healed all right from C-section. So hopefully he gets his vaccinations, I get cleared, and everything's good and back to normal. I've tried to kind of block in where I paint to try and stop the cat from coming over as much, but he's already trying to challenge me. But how's everybody? Has everybody been okay? Has everyone had a nice weekend? I know Sign said she did. But you, Grave, you had a nice weekend? Was your day off nice? Did you get much done aside from what you needed to do? Did you actually have time to relax? Yeah, Wee-Man's actually been really, really good today. Really, really good. Ah, yes, his day off. Day off. But you were still doing loads and loads of work. Because you have no chill. What is this relaxation you speak of? Relaxation. I don't think I've had that since the wee man was born, but I believe it means you're supposed to just decompress and, you know, chill. Maybe catch up on sleep, maybe read a book, maybe watch TV without it being child related. You know, get to actually watch an adult TV show instead of watching Bluey or something like that. It is we have nothing, and I mean nothing, on your agenda. Not even breathing. So you have to remind yourself to do it. Is that right, son? You have to remind yourself to breathe. Because that's the case, and I've been doing it wrong for years. I'm not dissing Bluey, but it just means every now and then you might want to watch an adult show. Bluey's actually quite good though. I'd take Bluey over Peppa Pig any day of the week. I would never diss that cute Australian Shepherd doggy. He is indeed a cute Australian Shepherd doggy. My other half is an Aussie, so it's nice to get that wholesome Aussie influence on Lucy. I think so. I think that's really nice. And like I said, it's miles better than Peppa Pig. Blue and Bingo are both girls. Aww. Very sweet. I do like using this Wild Rider Red as a highlight on this. I think it looks quite nice. My grandfather brother had to manually breathe. He had a sad life, 50 plus years, within a metal tube after getting polio as a teen. Oh my goodness. That's why we don't play with stuff like polio. This is why vaccines are important. Now that they're here and we're able to get them, it's very, very important. Oh, he was in an iron lung then, yeah. So I'm just concentrating on doing very tiny highlights. What red paint is the one using for highlights? Right now I'm actually using Wild Rider Red, which is like an orangey red tone. So, and this is going over Methstone Red. So, where is it? All the paint's been put away, so there we go. It's these two combined for the base and the highlight. And then on the corn red parts, I used, didn't use Evil Sun Scarlet, I used Wazadaka Red. So far these are the only, but these are the only two highlights that have been used currently. You and me both currently painting gemstones. Lovely. Anything where I have to go like really small, I have to like almost hold my breath or go silent because I can't do both at the same time. Looking very nice, thank you. Today we'll get to do the green highlights on all the suit, so that's going to be fun. Grace means next time you have a day off, maybe you can count all of your paints and give us an exact number. You might be there a while. Now listen here, Cyber Blood. Oh no. Signed. What have you done? Grace Ebony's I'm just like, oh, choosing violence. So real talk. See, your big scary words don't scare Signed, Grey. Now that I have a functional utility room, next step is to build a shed that I have space to sort out my wee one's office, and then and only then will I be counting anything. I don't blame you, Gray. That seems fair. Okay, I think I'm happy with that now. So you can see the Wazadaka red on the wings on his helmet and on his robes, and then over his gun, anywhere where I've applied Methystone, basically I've gone in with the Wild Rider red and just added touches of that just to bring it out a bit more. But now's on to the fun part. I found a way to paint gold, so I like how it looks. Found it out by mistake. Retributor armor covered by the green true metallic shade from Village. That's exactly the look I like. Now I have to buy. That actually sounds like a very cool combo. I'd have to see a photo of that. Green. That's what I was doing. I was there like a momentary lapse of memory. Then I was like, what was I doing? And with the green, I'm going to start with Warpstone Glow, and then I'm going to go up and go in again with Moot Green. But I'm going to start with Warpstone. Like I said, this stream won't end when this guy's straight highlighted today, because I've still got his Watcher and a bunch of other stuff to paint. I'm going to be going for the full 2 hours, so long as the wee man behaves himself, which so far he seems to be. So overall, he's actually been pretty settled today. He's had little fits of crying when he's been genuinely tired or hungry. But for the most part, he's actually been very well behaved. Which is good, because the last 2 days when, well, from Friday onwards when the family started to arrive, gives the gold a real metallic patina. Ooh, that sounds really nice. I actually have to look at that. When families have started to arrive, the wee man had a night where he literally barely slept, and then during the day had only had like a 20-minute nap before these relatives came. So already he was like overstimulated and overtired. So that was fun. So he just kind of came in and everyone was like, oh, look at the baby, and he just screamed for hours. Literally hours. And then today, he'd had a decent sleep, relatively. Fed before they got here. And as a result, was much more settled and let a few people hold him, even, instead of just me. Grace Lim is okay, fine, but I expect a full inventory list. You heard the Lady Grey. You know, that might not be a bad shout. Probably not a bad shout. I'll make a spreadsheet. Ooh, a fun spreadsheet opportunity. Plus, then you know what you've got and what you don't have, and then you know what you need to buy. See, it's a win-win. Sign gets to know exact numbers, and you know what you need and what you don't need. This is the perk of currently only using Citadel stuff though, is that I can just use the app and just log off, like log what I have and what I haven't got. I've been mixing a lot on the Corsairs. It's been fun. Ooh. Fun opportunity to try new things. We like that. Maybe Bobby G can help with that spreadsheet. I'm sure if anybody would like a spreadsheet, it would be Bobby G. Speaking of characters, do you have Azreal and the Lion got any other characters lurking in the pile of potential? Right now, this obviously I have Azreal for Krytor. I have Lion to finish. I don't have any more else. I have my Combat Patrol to finish, or to start and finish, and one other like minifigure, but I don't have any more main people yet. But there is time. Like we said before, like we would have liked to get all of the figures from the 30k from Horus Heresy, like all of the Primarchs, and paint those up. So we could have like an entire collection. So like once the Primarchs are all finished, we can then just get like a shelving unit and just line up all the painted Primarchs, which would be pretty cool. We're thinking like hopefully a week or so's time I'll be sending this one back to Krytor and he'll have his finished mini and we'll have finished our first commission. Which is crazy to think that we've had our first commission already, which is lovely. Anybody who's kind of lurking, who is interested in getting a piece done, I have Dante, Method's done 30k, Armorin 40k, Armin. Myrna's Kalgar, Kato, and the Sangador's characters. You got quite a few signed. Quite a few. Been busy collecting. And Vulcan, Hassan, and then some others in combat patrols. Yeah, you got quite a few. So I remember you saying you had Vulcan. In my pile of potential, in air quotes. As I was saying, anybody who's kind of lurking, who isn't commenting, that's completely fine. If you have any interest in getting a custom piece done by us, they are currently free. The only thing we ask for is people to pay for postage and packaging. So if anybody would like a custom piece in their style, then let us know. Like I said, we're not even asking for paints, so we have loads of paints, and if we need to buy one, we will buy one. But if you want a specific style and a specific character, just send it to us, write us an email. The email you'll find in the description down below. You'll also find it in our Discord chat if you haven't already joined our Discord. You can send us an email, we can talk what you would like, and then we can customise a piece just for you. In exchange, we just want postage and packaging paid for, and if you're okay with it, for us to be able to stream or record a video for it. Ideally both. Because once this figure is done, I'll be making him into a video. I don't have Lava Dad yet. Yeah, I need Lava Dad. Definitely need Lava Dad. Do you have any dream figures that you're really after? That goes for anybody. Dream figures, eventually I'd like all the Primarchs and their Chaos versions. Yeah, so for us it's all the Primarchs, specifically 30k version. Just because I think they look so cool. They look a lot more dark and epic. Obviously I have Lion 40k, I have Lion 30k. Anything more that's Lion based I'd love. Yeah. I'd like to actually have like I'd like to get all the Primarchs and then do like essentially what I do for Armies on Parade, but basically just do like make the whole thing into like a shadow box and do like a chaosy style setting in the back of a shadow box and like put all the Primarchs on that shelf with like lights in it as well, which I think would look quite cool. That's what I'd like to do, but that's neither here nor there. That's just a separate project entirely for, you know, someone who clearly had, if they had the time on their hands, would do something like that, and at that point would decide they have too much time on their hands. But hey ho, that's just me. Like a family reunion, exactly. Hi Freddie, heard your voice and said hello. Hey Freddie. But yeah, as far as, I think there's like a lot of 30k stuff that we'd like to try and get. Like 30k and 40k is kind of where we're focusing at the moment, but I would like to get more Horus Heresy stuff, specifically Primarchs. Mr. Nerd is with the wee one right now. I'm only hearing like occasional noises, so it's definitely not as bad as he has been in passing weeks for streams. So far today seems to be quite a good day. to be a wee one. This green is just like the base. I'll be going over the top with moot green, just for like extra brightness. I'll be starting in a second. There we go. That's all the areas that I'm going to apply that dark green highlighted. So now I can go in with some mood green. And it's got to highlight the purple and blue areas after that. And then we can move on to metallic highlights. Kind of just about to see that on the shield here on his shoulder. He's a lot smaller than the other figures, so it's a little bit harder to see every single individual highlight a bit easier. But when I do the photos, because I'll be taking lots of photos of these for video purposes and also just portfolio purposes for the sake of people who want commissions. When I take photos, it'll be really, really clear. There's like strange noises going on outside. I can hear lots of banging and like, throwing stuff around. I don't know where it's coming from. With the moot green, I'm not like going around the entire edges, I'm literally just picking out set areas and adding it in. Did anyone else get up to anything fun today or over the weekend, aside from actually, just like you said, Sandra went to the hobby fair. Gray obviously built stuff. Did you do anything else? Did you actually manage to get some time to chill and, you know, build any plastic or paint much? With a tiny, tiny bit of red, just to go over an area where I accidentally touched a tiny bit of green. There we go. So working on the Corsairs for the video, which was due today, but unlikely at this point. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? When you've got a project, sometimes you have to kind of delay it by a day just to kind of make sure you're happy with it. Like, we didn't post any videos this week, but because we've been streaming, because my main focus has been this, I didn't want to like start another project and then kind of get distracted or kind of focus on anything else. So like, I've still got obviously 30k line to finish and Azreal. I guess it's okay that I'm small enough that regular schedule isn't fully established yet, so it should matter too much if it's late. D&D in about an hour or so though, and so I get to chill then. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because even though we're obviously at 600 subscribers now, 600 plus subscribers, which is awesome, we're still small enough that if we don't put a video out every single week, every single day, it's not so bad as long as we're doing something else. So in this case, it's streaming. As long as we're doing something pretty consistently where someone can tune in and watch, then I don't feel as bad about if I miss a video. Yeah, because it's 628 subscribers, which is awesome that we've got that much so far. But then next week, this guy will be finished. So hopefully by Wednesday, if not by Saturday, probably most likely by Saturday, we'll have a full video of Azreal being painted. So that'll probably be Saturday's video. So I just need to do something for Wednesday, which is either going to be like a challenging video for myself, where I'm going to pick a random figure out of my cabinet, and maybe do like a poll on the channel, on the community page and on the Discord channel as well, and just kind of say, right, what kind of theme do you guys want to vote for? Let you guys vote for what kind of style I should try and paint the figure in, and then just have fun and do that, because I've got lots of small figures that I'm not really going to be using as part of like a grander scheme of anything. and I've got lots and lots of Nighthorn and stuff like that to paint. So, and I kind of want to save the Combat Patrol for when I'm actually in streaming mode, because obviously they all have to be really uniform for me. But I can have a bit more fun with my Age of Sigmar stuff. So there'll be an Age of Sigmar video most likely on Wednesday. It's just a case of what. At the moment, I don't know what quite yet, but I'll figure it out. I'm just looking for my metallic highlight that I'm going to use, because I'm going to move on to my metallics now. I'm going to go in with some Runefang Steel on my sword. I always forget you guys do Sigmar. Yeah, to be honest, I think we predominantly did Sigmar for ages, and then the minute we got into 40k, it kind of blew up for us. We got a lot more attention from 40k than we did Sigmar stuff, which I understand. Not everybody's into the fantasy element of things. So as a result, it kind of got put on the back burner a little bit. I actually can't remember the last time we did an Age of Sigmar video. Let's have a look real quick. It was a while ago. Obviously, Age of Sigmar as such, obviously we've got... actually, when was the last Age of Sigmar? A while ago, that's for sure. The last Age of Sigmar video was 3 months ago. So, yeah. It was a while, so I definitely need to be getting back in with my Age of Sigmar stuff, because that stuff's just sat in the cupboard of shame. I don't have a pile of shame, I have a cupboard of shame. So I need to kind of crack on with that. Ahoy painters, hello book, how are you doing? So yeah, I think it will most likely be, Wednesday's video will be some form of Age of Sigmar content, but it will be, even if it's like a self-imposed challengey video, because obviously we're doing the challenges once a month anyway, which will be done within the next week or so. The next challenge will be recorded in the next week or so, because Mr. Nerd goes back to work at the beginning of March. I do really like Runefang Steel as a highlight on this, because you can just see it's just picked out the little kind of attachments on his sword very nicely. Doing well. Ooh, no Age of Sigmar stuff. Yeah, we were just discussing, like, I do a lot of 30k and 40k stuff recently, and the last Age of Sigmar video I put out was 3 months ago. So, and I've got lots of Nighthorn, I've got lots of Tomb Banshees and stuff like that to paint, so I've got quite a bit to actually go through. So I'm thinking on Wednesday I will do a little Age of Sigmar video, but I might do a little challenge. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. You can put them in the chat now if you want to see a specific thing. Because it'll be just me doing this. It'll just be like a fun little self-imposed challenge just to myself. It won't be one for me, Mr. Nerd. But just something I can work on that's not going to take me hours and hours and hours. Just something that's going to be quite fun. And at the end I can just be like, right, this is the challenge I got set, this is how it turned out. And we can then discuss whether or not it went well or not in the comments below. I think that might be a good idea. Yes, Armies of the Dead. If not for Skaven, that's what I would collect. Nighthaunt for you, and Slaves of Darkness for Mr. Nerd. Right. Is he an Archeon or an Ethinus kind of guy? I actually don't know. I'd have to ask him. Because for me, it was obviously, originally it started with Sylvaneth. I do have some Sylvaneth. I have a bunch of Dryads that need to be painted. But I think with Dryads, because they are so teeny, I'm better off doing something a bit more complex with my Nighthaunt because they're a bit more fun, a bit more spooky. I like my spooky boys. They're fun in Warcry, that's how I got into Nighthaunt. So I was having a little drink. Oh, throwing stuff. But we've got quite a vast collection of Age of Sigmar stuff. So we have Fire Slayers, we have Sylvaneth, we have Nighthaunt, we have what else have we got? That I'm gonna have a little look now, and I can kind of tell you what we've got, and you guys can let me, because obviously Mr. Nerd's got some stuff that's his stuff that he wants to paint up. But for me, I've definitely got Nighthaunt and some Sylvaneth to kind of paint up as options. Nighthaunt are the perfect army for airbrushing. They are. Just need to get my airbrush. I could find it out, to be honest, and just kind of do I could try like a base paint of using an airbrush and see how that goes. So we have Fire Slayers, we have Seraphon, we have Sylvaneth from Order. From Death, we do have some Osiric Bone Reapers and some Nighthaunt. Mr. Nerd has Helmsmith of Hashut. We have Slaves to Darkness. Do we have anything from Destruction yet? We have nothing from Destruction. So, the stuff that's mine is the... So I think we've still got some Fire Slayers lying around that I could paint. Sylvaneth. And then we have my Nighthaunt. So if you guys have any preference out of those three, Fire Slayer, Sylvaneth, or Nighthaunt, I can pick one of those. There's something for all of them, it's just a case of which one you'd like to see. You should consider investing in a real airbrush, also, or something like that. So, Mr. Krytor is very kindly sending us an airbrush, even though he didn't ask for any payment as part of this this commission. He decided he wanted to send us one very kindly. So when that arrives, I will have an actual proper better airbrush. So one is coming. It's just a case of when we get it, and when we do get it, we'll be using it quite a bit. I think Krytor mentioned it's like a mid-range one, but we will be saving up to get like a really, really nice one in the future. Just like I want to, I still need to buy new brushes, because even though it's unfortunate I'm just really deadly with brushes, I just ruin them so easily. Mr. Nurse has bought himself a brand new set of beautiful, beautiful brushes that I'm not allowed to touch, because he will kill me. Will need a compressor? I'm not entirely sure. It might do. So the one I have now needs a compressor. The current one has one of those little handheld compressors. Is that right? Yes. It is indeed a handheld compressor. It's one of those ones we kind of was like, right, let's try it out for Armies on Parade, and just picked one up that we saw that was like cheap and cheerful, because we were like, right, if this is going to work, then we'll kind of look at investing in better in the future. Make up a little bit more room, thanks, still. Just finish painting the sword. That might not work with a name brand airbrush. Usually they have a different thread for the hose. Okay, I'll have to have a look at that then. Yep, now on to metallic highlights. I'm actually going to use a little bit of Rune Fang actually for a highlight on the Auric Armor Gold, and then I might go over the top again with a tiny bit more shade paint, just to kind of pick it out a bit better. In my experience, they can barely push 25 PS. Yeah, they're not. It's not the best. It is like one of those ones where when we used it, it kind of worked okay to begin with, and then it became a real pain trying to clean it out. A real pain. But yeah, like I said, I'm not entirely sure what the one that Crouch was sending us has. I haven't looked it up, and I can't remember what it's called off my head right now. But all I know is it's kind of mid-range. But I definitely want to experiment more with airbrushing stuff, just because I think I want to be really, really beneficial when I'm doing big armies. When you get a compressor, invest in one with a tank. Okay. This is good to know. Yeah, like, there's like certain things I definitely want to work on this year. Obviously, when I get my airbrush, I do want to do more airbrushing stuff. And then contrast paints, which I know, Gray, you mentioned before, like contrast paints and airbrushing can go hand in hand in that regard, because you highly recommend using an airbrush for contrast. But we'll see. We'll see when it gets here. What I can do with it. I have a Fendiger FD186A compressor with a tank. Has never let me down. Good to know. There's a cost saving to airbrushing too, even if you're just priming with them. An airbrush primer costs about a tenner versus rattle cans which are like 15-20 quid, and you get significantly more from the airbrush. Gotta go AFK, no worries, Bo. Bo, not a problem at all. For priming, yeah, no worries. The wee one is currently upstairs, quite upset all of a sudden. We're trying to figure out what in the world it is, but like whenever he gets left alone with Mr. Nerd, he gets really, really upset for some reason. And to be honest, it can get that way with other people as well, but with Mr. Nerd in particular, he just gets really, really upset. He's been okay for the last hour, but now he's getting quite irate. I can hear him. But it might be one of the things we ask the doctor about tomorrow. Because Mr. Nerd just doesn't understand. He's like, why is he okay with you and like other people, and then with me he just becomes hysterical. Like, I don't know. I don't know myself. Is it a male thing? I don't know. It could be. But then, when he's with his granddad, he's really, really calm and chill. So I don't think it is a male thing. Like, he's definitely more clingy with me anyway. Like, we should be. But then as a result, it makes it harder to do things, because obviously if the wee one gets really upset when left alone with his dad for like more than 10 minutes, 45 minutes, kind of within that range, he gets really, really worked up sometimes. And Mr. Nerd, bless him, literally just sat there going like, what do I do? What's wrong with him? I'm like, I don't know. And Mr. Nerd can be like trying his absolute best to try and calm him down. And sometimes he just gets so worked up that I have to step in like take over again. I do feel sorry for him because it doesn't really make much sense. But I'll mention it to the doctor tomorrow and see if there's anything particular, because originally we thought it was like a colicky issue, because he was having some like crying fits, quite bad crying fits building up to that point when he had a really bad one the other day. But then since then he hasn't really had any issues, and today he hasn't had, like, we've tried it with gripe water and all that stuff as well, and he hasn't needed it today because he's had a bottle, been burped, and gone straight back to sleep with no problems. So it's kind of a new thing. Almost, it's a bit like, well, what's happened there? Why are you suddenly so unsettled? For the purple highlights, I'm going to go with some Slanesh Grey. And then after that, I think I'm going to be done with highlighting, and then move on to my Watcher. That's the other thing with babies as well. Like, if you're nervous or anxious, they will pick up on it, and then it's harder for them to settle. So it could be a case of, as well, that you can kind of pick up on the fact that maybe Mr. Nerd's a bit more anxious than I am, a bit more nervous. I don't know. Could be a factor. GP might give us masters tomorrow, he might not, we'll find out. Yeah, I was just going to say that, yeah, he'll be apprehensive around him likely not wanting to set him off. Exactly. That's the other thing I'm thinking, like maybe if he's already going in with this mindset of like, oh, it's going to be bad. And then because he can sense that, he then gets set off. Because that's the only thing I could think of. We mentioned it the other day. He's like, he's too young to kind of clung on. Well, he's not too young to have clung on to a specific person, but he's a bit too young to kind of be dealing with any real separation anxiety yet. But don't get me wrong, he immediately settles better when he's in my arms, regardless. But I don't know. The only thing we could think of is potentially that without realising it, Mr. Nerve's a bit more apprehensive, maybe. And therefore, as a result, we one's just like, oh, I don't know. Okay, got to do the blue highlights on his gun. And then I think we will be done with highlighting Mr. Azreal, and then we can move on to the Watcher that he has holding his sword sheath. What am I looking for? Sword sheath. I'm going to go in with Thousand Suns blue as the highlight, I think. I only have like a tiny bit of blue on this, so I really don't need a lot of this. I went in with the Fang originally, which is like a purpley blue. But since there's only a tiny, tiny amount of blue on this figure, I really don't need a lot of this. Yeah, during the day I more or less have to keep the wee man in like a sling. So I wear the sling almost 24/7. But it's more to do with the fact that he will not settle on anybody else. Like, if he settled more and slept in his bed more, so I can get him to sleep in his bassinet a little bit, but he just prefers contact sleep. But during the day, sometimes he won't even let me put him down. tiny bit of Netherstone just to clean up a tiny little dot where I've gone over with the blue. But like I said, tomorrow, because he's going to be having his injections, depending on how he is, if he's really unsettled, then I won't stream, because I'm not going to dump a baby on to Mr. Ned that's already been really unsettled, because, you know, it's just asking for a short stream. So at that point, I will let you guys know. But also vice versa, if I start streaming and he's fine, and then he starts getting really irate during the stream, then I'll log off and go check on him, just because obviously it's a bit different than just a regular cry, because he'll have had injections, he'll be feeling quite sorry for himself. So at that point, the last thing he needs is to kind of be in a situation where he's not feeling 100% and being uncomfortable. So it really just depends on what he feels like tomorrow. So here is our close-up of Azzy Boy. All highlighted now. I'm leaving this bottom bit because one, it was giving me something to hold, and two, I'm going to paint that when he goes into the base. So, but that's Azreal. So now we move on to this little guy, the Watcher. And for that, I'm going to start with, I'm going to mix two colours. I'm going to mix some Doom Bowl Brown, and I'm going to mix it with some Corn Red, which is there. Yeah, so I'm going to mix these two together to make like a reddish brown colour, which is the same thing I did for my Watcher on my 40k Lion. So I'm going to mix those two together to get the colour that I want. Looking good, thank you. Aha, the little bitty, yes, the little itty bitty. Yeah, I'll give it until roughly past, and if he's really, really screaming still, then I might log off a bit early. For whatever reason, it will just be for that reason. But we'll see if Mr. Nerd is able to settle him or not. Yeah, and he's getting really irate. So once this has been painted, I'm probably gonna go off, just because I can hear he's getting really, really irate with Mr. Nerd right now. He's really, really unsettling himself. So by the time I paint this, it should be about past anyway. So there's like an hour and a half stream. Again, another short one, but it's kind of hard to listen to him screaming like that when he's clearly very upset, and no matter what Mr. Nerd does, he's really not wanting to settle. Oh good, real life stream, exactly. So I'm just going to finish painting this little mini on his base coat. And then we'll call it there. Hey, Summit. Oh, poor baby and poor Rothmer. Yeah, like, don't know what it is, but he just becomes very unsettled all of a sudden. But yeah, hopefully when we go to the doctors tomorrow we can ask some questions and try and figure out maybe why that is. Thing is, he's been like this more or less since the very beginning as well. Like, that's almost the worst part. It's not like a new development. So I do think a lot of it is due to like potentially, like you said, nervous or anxious energy kind of thing. Where if he's picking up on the fact that he's unsettled, then as a result, Wee Man's unsettled and not wanting to settle. So. Thing is, like, I'm pretty sure, if I remember it really correctly, when they're in this situation where they are a lot more unsettled, the best thing you can do is actually do it more, but in smaller doses, so that like babies actually like acclimatise and get used to it. Been asleep most of the day. How has the painting been going? I'll quickly show you as for you, Summit. Have you tried background music like rain sounds and stuff can help relax people? Maybe finding his jam will help a bit. I've tried it. I don't know if Mr. Nerd will. Been asleep most of the day. How much painting been going? So here's what we've managed to succeed with. This is Azreal, the actual main figure, complete now, Summit. We're just moving on to his mini now, his little mini watcher friend who's holding his sword sheath. And then we've just got his backpack and stuff to do. Ooh, me likey. Good, I'm glad. But here's Azreal. Nice and highlighted. And then this is the Watcher. The little one calmed down for a second there, and I thought I was going to be able to make this longer, but I might not be able to because he's still really screaming. So, it might be a case of tomorrow I have to have him attached to me while streaming. It means I have to mute my mic more often. I'll just have to mute my mic more often. But anything to kind of make it a little bit easier on myself and also Mr. Nerd and the wee one, especially if he's just had his injections tomorrow, because obviously tomorrow he has his vaccines. So, I am going to leave it there. I'm going to go relieve Mr. Nerd because the wee one is really, really screaming. like I said, we haven't done that much. We have finished highlighting Azreal today, so he is finished. Tomorrow we will finish off the Watcher, and we will do his back piece, which is pretty cool. It's got those skulls on the shoulder parts, which is pretty cool. And then we will put it all together. So this is the base. Just give you an update on the base now that it's finished. This is the base. Once we'll do like a video of me putting him on here, and we'll kind of do it all together. We salute you, Mr. Nerd. Thank you for your service. I think he'll appreciate that. But yeah, it's definitely frustrating. It's hard for him. I know it's hard, so I try to do as much as I can to kind of prevent him from getting the extra stress, because it's not pleasant just hearing constant screaming. There's a little itty bitty. He's at his base. Alright, have a nice night. Good luck with the wee lad. Again, sorry for the shorter stream, guys, but like we said, real life versus stream, sometimes you have to prioritise one over the other. But I hope your stream goes well, Gray. I hope D&D is fun. Summit, I hope you play some very fun games. Signed, I don't know what you're up to tonight. Hopefully just chilling, maybe doing some painting. And Mr. Nerd's earned a drink, I think so. He'll come, I'll probably make him a cider and give it to him in exchange for the wee lad. But again, really sorry about the short stream, guys, but priorities, of course. So I will see you guys tomorrow. It will be either with the wee man attached to me or not. But regardless, we'll sort it out. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining me. And yeah, we will see you guys then. So have a wonderful evening or day, wherever you are in the world, guys. And we will see you next time. So bye for now.